Hi, Chavi here. Today I wanted to show you guys the difference between a lace front wig and a sheitel, which would be called like a Jewish wig or a French top wig. Okay, so I've shown a lot of sheitels before, but just to show how it looks. So as you can see, there's a skin top, which is multi-directional. Usually this piece ranges in size, but this one's about this big. Sometimes they're all the whole top, and then sometimes they're constructed a little differently with more hand sewn. But here, on the inside, you can see that the top is, this part's multi-directional just to here, and the rest is all sewn in wefts. Wefts are rows of hair. If you can see here, you know, they sew the hair in thin rows, and then they layer them to make the wig, and that's how the wig is constructed. And here, you know, the seam here is closed, and it's very sturdy and durable. It's supposed to, you know, last for a long time. So now I'm going to show you a lace front wig. These are completely different in construction. So I'm going to get close so that you guys can see. But first of all, there is lace in the front. Now this actually gets cut off. It gets trimmed. The lace gets trimmed all the way to the hairline. Once you know, a person buys it, they try it on their own head, and you want to cut it to the shape of your head. And since everyone has a different shaped face, they give you extra lace so that you can do that. Okay, it's a wig, just like the way the other wig. This one's uncut, whereas my other wig I showed has been cut, so it has layers. This is just an uncut wig, okay? So from the outside, you would say, from the back, you wouldn't really know any difference. From the front, you can already see that there's a big difference. So whereas the other cap was very durable and thick, you would say, and like feels like a few layers of material put together, the lace front wig is very thin in comparison. So it literally is lace, and the hairs are actually tied into the lace cap. So to show you the inside of this cap, it is a piece of lace all around the front. On the top part is designed so that it can be parted in any way. But unlike the Jewish sheitel, this lace is transparent, so there's no white part. Whereas the Jewish sheitel is designed so that there's white. See, if you see here, it's actually transparent. The actual lace is just lace, like the material lace. I can rub my finger here, and you can see my finger through it. It's completely transparent, so there is no white. Now that actually makes a difference, because when you have this on, you sometimes can't see the white through very clearly, and so the part doesn't show up the same whiteness as it would, you know, if it's like here when it's on a white cap, a white head, you can see that there's white and it looks more like a natural scalp. But if it's just on your dark hair or over like a wig cap that's tan or maybe brown, it's not going to show up as white. Whereas the way they layer the Jewish sheitels, they make it so that it is flesh colored. And they actually make different colored flesh tops. The factory, you know, lets you specify what color you want the whiteness, like how dark, because there's obviously a lot of different skin tones in the world. That's actually something that could be specified in a custom wig. Probably most in the Jewish market, I would assume that the sheitelmachers just order them to like the average Caucasian shade for, because that's what most Jewish clienteles, who Ashkenazi Jews are European descent, so they're gonna buy Caucasian colored wigs. But you could actually get that in many, many colors. So here's our lace front again, and the only reason this is showing up as white on top is because it's on a white wig head. But if it's on anything else, it's not going to show up as much. See? But let's talk about this. Front of this wig is completely hand tied. So if I don't know how good the camera's going to show this, but someone actually took each hair, knotted it. They tie little knots to tie these hairs in here, and they actually knotted it into this wig cap. And that's a very different design. And if you look at the whole wig itself, this is a stretch cap, okay? There are no wefts. This entire wig is hand sewn, because even here in the back, whereas in the Jewish Sheitel we saw wefts of hair, here, you know, when I'm trying to find the cap, here we go. Look, each of these hairs is hand tied into the knot. Someone went in and literally tied each hair into the knot. So with hand tied, you can get a lot more flexibility in terms of like which way you want each hair to go. But that also means that the hair has to be, the cuticles have to be in line, or else the hair is going to tangle. See, when they're sewing the wefts in, they can say, okay, let's turn the hair in the same direction, let's sew it in a weft. Here, the person making the wig has to be careful that every single hair is in the right direction. Unless, you know, the hair is processed so that the cuticles are removed, which would make it easier to be made. Here in the back, you can actually see that looks like some of these are kind of sewn upward, probably because of cuticle direction, and also if you want to pull it up in a ponytail, you'd want the hairs kind of going up, not down. But because it's hand tied, these hairs can kind of go in any direction. But yeah, these are kind of naturally going up right now, but they can be, you know, pulled down. But yeah, I mean, it's a very different construction. And just to show you, so this top part where the lace is, that is the lace front, is not stretchy at all. This is just material, okay? But this back part, this is a stretchy, elasticy kind of material that is going to allow it to fit on, you know, multiple size heads people and be comfortable. And that's why it is stretchy in the back and not stretchy in the front. So this is just a very different type of cap than you see on the Jewish Sheitels. So this is a Jacqueline lace front wig. The color is 10-7. It says I think the E stands for European, 10-7. And Jacqueline makes all sorts of wigs. They're a very big manufacturer in the industry. It's here you see that there are tabs, so this wig could be adjusted tighter. But it is just a completely different cap construction than this other Sheitel. So just turning it inside out to show you comparison side by side. Wefts, hand tied. Okay. Lace on top that's not stretchy. Here. This has the multi-directional French top, people call it, partable wig. Another difference. You can just see this when it's turned inside out, but this hair in the front of the Sheitel was sewn in to go forward, because Sheitels, the hair on Sheitels almost always goes forward in the front. Like this hair will be going to the side, and then the hairs in the front go forward. And this is because they're designed for bangs, to make them look more natural. And that's why often people will be like, why is my Sheitel falling in my face? Why is it in my face? It's because they said they actually sew the hair in to go forward, because it's really meant for bangs. Whether side bangs, full bangs, even if you just try to not cut bangs and just wear it to the side, and even if your Sheitelmacher blows it back and puts and hairspray and everything, the hair might still go forward because they actually sew the hair to go forward, okay? Now, big contrast here. On the lace front wig, the hair is actually sewn to go backwards. So the hair here, move this so don't damage it.